Hello, hi, my good people. I hope you are good. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to talk about your capacity is in the state of your mind. So, most people they believe like there is a higher power or someone else who should come and push them forward. And they always believe that I cannot do this. I'm not qualified or I'm not the best person to do this. Or sometimes some of us we are like me, I think okay, it's a good thing, but I don't think I have what it takes to do it. And today I want us to learn that everything that we do, it's all about our beliefs. It's all about what is in your mind. What do you think about yourself? What do you think about this thing that you are being told to do, or taking up this task that you think and you feel like it is something that is above you? And this guy who was just telling me that sometimes back, he, of course, he's married with kids. And at some point where he used to work, they used to promote people a lot. But for him, he will not be promoted because of qualifications. So he was telling me that I worked there for like eight years and I was not promoted. But the reason why I stayed for 8 years is because my current situation cannot allow me to go back to school. But my colleagues, they always advance, like go back to school, do their degree, go back to school, do their masters, their PhDs, and they always find that opportunity to be promoted. So I asked this guy, so what makes you say that you cannot go back to school? And what is the belief behind that? And he was like, I'm a dad of two. I pay school fees for my kids. I have to pay bills, and the money that I'm getting is not enough. And then I told this guy, so the first thing, do you believe you can go back to school? Let's start from there, because even if someone gives you the money today and inside your heart, inside your mind, you have decided that it is impossible. So I cannot go back to school. You will not even go back to school. So you as a person, do you feel like I have what it takes to go back to school? And then when you can answer that question, now you can just find ways of now looking for the school fees. And this guy was like, okay, I've never thought of that, but I just feel like I cannot. So I told the guy, just go home and just think about it. So this guy went, and of course, he came back after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then he was like, I've just thought about what we discussed, and I feel like, yes, I can go back to school. So I told him it starts from there. It starts from just telling your mind that I have what it takes just to go to school. And after that, the universe and God will just make a way of you even having that school fees. And I was telling him, even me, I went back to school. And at that time, I was having a loan to pay and other things to do. And I was like, I will not manage to go and pay school fees. But I remember a good friend of mine by that time, she really encouraged me. And she was like, oh, yeah, Ma, we are going back to school, whether you like it or not, because of course we are going back to school with her. But for me, that time, I was like, hey, Miyaki, I think I have a lot on my plate that I cannot add another expense. Maybe I'll wait until next year and I'll go back to school. But because of this friend, this lady and another guy, they were like, you have to go to school. So I went to school, I enrolled, and somehow, God provided, and I graduated. So I told this guy, number one, it starts from the belief. The people who say, I don't have what it takes to do this, but you have everything that it takes. All you need to do is just to put it in your mind and to say, I want to do this. Because if you have a desire, you will always find a way out. So this guy, of course, we did some calculations. This is what I'm earning, blah blah blah. And after that, he was like, "Oh, so I can still have some money and pay my fees." And that's how this guy went back to school. So most of the time, we always feel like I cannot go back to school. I cannot do it. Maybe I cannot because I am a single mom, so I cannot go back to school. I'm a single mom, so I cannot start another business. I'm a single dad, so I cannot do this business. I can only do this business. I'm a single parent. I cannot have a side hustle. But at the end of the day, if you just decide from your heart that you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm telling you, it will work for your good. And most of the time, we just want to sit there and wallow in our problems and be like, this is not for me. I was telling someone that personally, I don't believe there are things for other people. Like the way people, like someone will say, hey, okay, this machine is not for this kind of people. This machine, me, I cannot afford it. Everything is possible. And that is why Jesus said, if you have faith as little as mustard seed, not as big as the mountain, but as little as the mustard seed, you'll say to this mountain, move, and the mountain shall move. So it means it's not about money. Number one thing is, are you able to do that? Sometimes you meet people and they're like, okay, I'm struggling, I have papers, I don't have anything to do. And you're telling them, why can't you start maybe something that you love? They're like, okay, what I love, but I don't have money. Do you believe you can do it? Because you having the money or not depends with your capacity and depends with your mind. So if you believe like I can do it, then God will make a way for you and resources will come and people will trust you. And the people who they just have money and they want someone who have an idea and they can just invest in you. I have a good friend of mine who he just quitted his job and was like, me, I'm tired of this job and I need to start my own company. And for me, at some point, I was like, why are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I'm sure. So this guy is someone that knows God. We used to just share the word of God every day as we go to work together because we used to work the same area. So he will alight to his place of work and then I will proceed. And we used to have these stories of encouraging each other every morning and just, sharing the goodness of God and having these testimonies. And this guy was like, Oyamo, me, I'm tired. And from next month, I'm not going to work in this company. And I was like, so what are you going to do? He said, I have the idea, but I don't have the money. Because for me to start that company, I need not less than 2 million. So this guy, because of dealing with different customers and serving clients, he created a good relationship with these clients. And he was like, one thing I know, next year I'm not reporting to this company. But how I'm going to start my own company, only God knows. Now you see, because he decided that I'm going to do this, he didn't have the 2 million. But in his heart and mind, he was like, this is possible. God will provide the 2 million. So, to cut the long story short, this guy met with three other guys. So, he went to this guy, number one, and of course, he sold his idea of, I want to start this company and uh, this and this and this, but I don't have the money. And this is someone who one day, as we continue with this YouTube, one day I'll bring him to the show and just have an interview with him. And he said, this guy asked him, if you cannot even afford this and this and this, how sure am I if I give you my 1 million, you are going to do what you are telling me? So this guy told him, I'm going to think about it. So that was like, okay, a soft no. And he didn't give up. He went to another guy and another guy. And finally, he got these two guys who they were interested. And they were like, okay, we love your idea. This is what you want to do, blah, blah, blah. We are going to give you the money and we are going to be co-directors. And they agreed. They signed the document and they started the company. Of course, my friend was the one with the idea, but the other two, they're the ones who provided the 2 million. So at the end of the day, it is you to decide from your heart and from your mind, this is what I'm going to do. And most of the time, we find us being having that fear that you cannot even explain. And we feel like, this one I cannot do, but this other one I can do. If that friend of mine could have just sat down and be like, I don't have the 2 million, maybe I have the 50K. Let me just work here for the rest of my life. I don't think I can manage a company. I was employed ever since I've been employed. So this is the first time, and this is a big company. Mind you, this is something that even right now, like they import things from China and all that. So the company has really grown. Why? Because my friend knew that the capacity is in his mind, not his pocket. Because most of us we focus on our pocket so much. But if you have something in your mind and you believe it is possible. So when you go and tell someone about it, they'll see the confidence, they will see the spirit in you, they will see the passion, they will see somebody who has determined to do something. And they will really give into that because they want to invest. Because there are guys who have money, but they don't know where to invest the money. They don't have the idea. So at the end of the day, I tell even the Gen Zs, don't be like, I don't have capital. Ask yourself, are you ready and willing to do it? Personally, I believe even when you're starting a business, okay, there are those who take loans to start business. But personally, I believe start small, trust God, as you make progress, pole pole too, one day, starting from a shop, maybe selling three things, you can continue, and when you get profit, you take back to the business. As the business continue to grow, of course, you live below your means, and you make sure that whatever you are getting, you go back and bring more stocks. Na ni kujinyima tu pole pole, and then one day you find that your business has really grown, maybe from a small shop to now a big general shop. You start seeing opportunities, maybe you need to add some cereals here and there, and then like that, and you end up even having a big supermarket. This story was told. There were two guys who used to sell the same products along the same street. And at some point they didn't have customers. So they were really straining even to pay rent for the shop. So this one guy was like, me, I'm tired of this business. I'm going to close, and this is not for me. I don't have the capacity, and I think I'm done. So this guy closed the business. The other guy, before this guy closing, the other guy was like, I think people are not coming to buy in this shop. What will I do? Let me go to people's homes and just tell them that if they buy this product, I'll do the delivery. So this guy, instead of sitting in that shop and waiting for customers to come, he will go around and tell people that this is what I'm selling. Go even with some products, and people will buy. And that is what is really happening even nowadays. Nobody will know what you are doing if they don't see it on social media. If you cannot promote your business on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or even YouTube. So you find that this guy closed the shop. The other guy who was feeling like all is done, I'm tired and I don't want this business. The other guy, people knew where he used to have the shop. And now people were like, oh, we didn't know that these things are being sold here. And now there are customers who will come, pick for themselves and pick for their neighbors. Now you see, this guy who made it, it's all about the mind. It's all about him knowing I have the capacity to do this. It's all about him knowing I just need to go an extra mile kidogo and everything will work on my favor. So at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can say that me, I cannot do this, or me, I can only do this. It is all about the state of your mind. There's nothing like this is for women, this is for people who are in their 40s, this is for people who have masters and PhD, this is for people who have what? Do you believe you can do it at the end of the day? Even where you work, you can just prove that you know what, I can take extra duties, I can do this thing better. Apart from what I was employed for, I can do some other things. And at the end of the day, somebody will recommend you. They don't even know what is your qualification, but they have seen what you can do, and they have seen the mentality that you have. Even when you are a cleaner somewhere, clean with dignity, clean as you praise God, because you don't know who is watching what you are doing. But when you are there and you feel like that office of the CEO, that office of the manager, me, I cannot sit there. I cannot be a secretary. This is where I belong. You will end up there. So make sure that whatever you want to do, take that bold step today. And don't feel like you cannot do it because you don't have money. Just have the idea, pray about it, and make the first move. Once you make the first move, everything will fall into place. And God will send people who will just come and help you because they have seen the idea that you have. But as long as you are staying there and feeling like I don't have what it takes, you'll continue to stay there as other people sell their ideas. There's a lot of things that we can do. I remember this guy who was saying he used to look for jobs, he didn't get one, and now he started to be a broker. And he will post some furnitures on his social media accounts, but he was not the owner of the furnitures. So when someone orders the furniture, he will go and tell the owner, someone wants this coach, and the owner will be like, okay, you make sure you deliver, and then you take 1% commission or 2% commission, depending with what is being sold. So at the end of the day, this guy started like that. And right now, as I speak, or as you watch this video, this guy owns not more than one company of furnitures. So at the end of the day, he didn't have anything. He just started with nothing actually, a smartphone and maybe bundles or Wi-Fi to post those products belonging to someone else. But through that, he learned a lot and he had these customers and he started his own furniture business. So just know that nothing is impossible. Everything you can do everything. But all the capacity is in your mind. So I pray that after you watch this video, you'll take a bold step and will know that I can do it and I deserve what it takes even to do it. And I have everything that it takes to do it. And I deserve even to be the best person in this area. So for now, bye bye.